So the concept of a network, the concept of sharing lessons learned from one part of Asia, which is more developed, to other parts of Asia, which was still developing, was a very new concept, and all credit goes to ESCAP for making it happen. I don't think there's anything similar to that in any other part of the world. I think ESCAP's major contribution has been to do the branding of the fact that we could think of a geographic area like the Asia Pacific region and see how we can build capacity through our interactions between cities. This is a completely innovative idea, and ESCAP has played a role. We have now jointly set up an SDG platform, which has actually come out quite nicely. The SDG platform has got not only a lot of information on the SDGs, but it has also got something like 100 best practices from across member cities. And these are all very important capacity building tools, which can be used by UNESCAP as well as by us with all our members. In the 80s, when the city of Yokohama offered to host the secretariat, there were very few cities in Asia, with the exception of Japan and maybe Singapore. The rest of Asia was still in a very developing country kind of context, and many of the cities faced common issues and challenges. Since then, the big change is that now there are so many other countries and cities which have also progressed. A good example, of course, is Korea, where we have several cities now which have very advanced governance structures, and Seoul Metropolitan Government, which is the host city for CityNet, has a lot of the world's best practices to offer. So that is one. The second is that even among other, mid-level developing countries, cities are doing extremely well. We've got, for example, cities like Kuala Lumpur, Makati City, which are, also at cutting edge in many areas, very advanced thinking. But we've also got other cities like Colombo in Sri Lanka, or even Lalitpur in Nepal, cities in Indonesia. For example, if you look at a city like Bogor, or you look at Surabaya, fantastic progress has been done over the years. So the point is that now the learning can really take place not only between the advanced and the developing parts of Asia, but also within Asian cities. We completely share the same values, that we do believe there's a common agenda, and the agenda has now acquired a huge amount of significance because of several things. One is climate change, which requires cities to rethink the way they've been planning, the way they've been consuming energy, and so on. And also the other part, which is more worrisome, where I think the common agenda on sustainability becomes particularly important in Asia Pacific region, is that the climate adaptation agenda is becoming very important. We are already seeing many kinds of disasters increasing in magnitude and in scope also. Things like more frequent typhoons or cyclones, more, and then in the future there's going to be sea level rise, and many of our cities are in coastal areas which are going to be affected. And also the fact that many of our cities still have a lot of very poor people, extremely vulnerable and living on lands which are really hazardous in terms of the impacts of climate change. So we share the same values as ESCAP, and in fact CityNet has a very robust program for capacity building in terms of disaster risk reduction, which is a precursor to climate risk reduction, which is something which all of us have to focus on over the next several decades.